With your indulgence, it is a matter of courtesy.
Courtesy and yes.
Following your logic, may I know why your president and your chairman of the board are not present here? As a member of this Congress, I feel insulted. Are you trying to tell this representation or this committee that they lack respect insofar as the members of this committee are concerned?
I could not respond to that.
Yun ang sagot mo eh.
Yeah, but the
It's a matter
agency,
of courtesy.
yes, the agency, Madam Chair, as a matter of courtesy.
May I know the reason why your bosses are not around?
Yes, Madam Chair, there are the letters from our good chairman and the GM.
The cabinet secretaries, Madam Chair, attend our hearings insofar as their budgets are concerned. May I know the reason why this government-owned and controlled corporation wouldn't come here with their bosses?
HM, Patiag.
I understand, Madam Chair, based on the letters of the GM, he is traveling to Ilocos. So we were asked, of course, to represent him. For the chairman,
May I know who is representing the chairman of the board, Madam Chair?
Your Honors, Madam Chair, Attorney Raymar Santiago po, Executive Assistant of Chairman Juni Ikua, sir. Your Honor.
And the guy beside you?
Good morning, Madam Chair. Attorney Marcos, Your Honor, as a private counsel for Chairman Kua, Your Honor.
Oh, are we having a court hearing here? Why we should have a private counsel of the chairman of the board?
I was tasked to represent him, Your Honor, as a counsel and an agent, Your Honor.
As a matter of fact, we have two private lawyers. The second one being Attorney Contacto, who is the counsel of the GM.
May I know, Madam Chair, what are their personalities insofar as their appearance here regarding the budget of the PCSO?
Good afternoon, ma'am. To clarify, my designation is not as a private lawyer. There was an error in the printing of my name card. So my designation is Executive Assistant 6 and LLO to the PCSO, not as a private counsel. Thank you.
Right. Mea culpa. Sorry.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As a member of this Congress, I feel insulted. I would just like to manifest that. As a member of this House, I feel insulted that the big bosses of the government-owned and controlled corporation known as the PCSO wouldn't attend the budget hearings insofar as their budget is concerned, while secretaries of the different departments of government would be present. I would just like to manifest that I feel insulted, Madam Chair, before I go to my interpellation.
Duly noted, CONG ACOP.
And apparently, there seems to be a rift among the leaders insofar as this GOCC is concerned. And if it is true that there's a rift, there's a problem insofar as this GOCC is concerned. Hopefully, the authorities should look into this, Madam Chair. Thank you. Let me go to my interpellation. What is the surplus of the PCSO for the year 2022?
AGM Patiag.
yes, Madam Chair, for Based on our financial statement as of December 31, 2022, we generated a net income of 4.3 billion pesos.
Madam Chair, when I say surplus, it would mean their corporate funds and the uses of these corporate funds. And there is a surplus, right? May I know the surplus insofar as the year 2022 is concerned?
For December 31, Madam Chair, that information can be found in the balance sheet. And the surplus refers to the equity, and our retained earnings amounts to 18,689,333,409 pesos.
And that is the report you have submitted to DBM,
Yeah,
Yes.
to the COA, Madam Chair.
to the COA. The book, Budget of Expenditures and Sources of Fund, and that is precisely the reason why you're here this morning, is that you are one of the agencies considered as the sources of fund. And pursuant to that book, your surplus for 2022 would amount to 16.3 billion. Maybe it would be better if you harmonize your data, because this is the report that you're giving to the COA, as you have stated.
Maybe seek clarification. 16, Mr.
16.3 billion.
For 2022, Madam Chair.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Maybe ask the good representative for the particular reference.
I do not know if you have a copy of the book, Budget of Expenditure and Sources of Fund.
We do not have the copy, Madam Chair.
Maybe it would be better
we
if
have
you...
a part of the BSF, which
what I'm stating is these are reports that you have submitted to the proper authorities. No, I'm recommending that you harmonize your data with the records of the BSF.
we did harmonize this morning, Madam Chair, the figures, the apparent discrepancy as reflected in the budget expenditures and sources of financing. But for the 16 billion, with your indulgence, Madam Chair, nahanap po namin from our account.
Madam Chair, maybe their finance officer would just reconcile with my records. Now, may I know what's your total assets for 2022?
The total assets as reflected in our declared submitted financial statements, Madam Chair, is 41 billion 585 million 12,580 pesos.
Thank you. Magkalapit. Kasi dito sa records, 41.2 billion. Now, a while ago, I heard Madam Gaboyo state that yung profit ninyo sa STL is 2.24 billion a month. Did I hear it correct?
The average po for 2023 is at 2.44 billion po.
2 billion a month.
Opo,
So in 1 year,
28. Tama ba? 24. 24.
24, average 24 B annually. Now, may I know if in the previous years, you have been incurring a net profit?
For the STL po.
No, for the whole office. let's start. 2015. Were you in the red or in the blue?
AGM?
What we have actually is information for year 2019 only, but we can submit the 2016 onwards.
In 2019, according to the BESF, you had a net profit of 4.49 billion. Would that be correct?
That's correct, Madam Chair.
Yes. Okay. And for 2020, your net profit would be 407 million.
That's correct, Madam Chair.
Okay. And for 2021, 3.097 billion.
Correct, Madam Chair.
And for 2022, 4.009 billion.
Actually, it's 4.3 billion as audited.
Okay. So 4.3.
Yes,
May I know how would you use, or what were the uses that you have done insofar as your net profit is concerned?
Yes, as mentioned, Madam Chair, also the net income is subject to the so-called dividends law. So we remit 50% of the net income to the National Treasury. And the rest is a carryover budget made available for charity fund. Because under the charter, all the excess from the two funds are credited to the charity fund.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For my last question, kasi baka mag 5 minutes na. For 2022, you have an operating revenue of 57.4 billion.
Yes, Madam Chair.
And your non-operating revenue would be 292.7 million for a total of 57.76 billion. Tama po?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Now, your PS would amount to 1.083 billion for the year 2022.
Yes, Madam Chair, for 2022.
And your MOE, 49.271 billion. Correct?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Ano po itong MOE na ito?
For this MOE, this actually covers the expenses for the three funds, the prize, the charity, and the operating fund.
Thank you. And under expenses, there would be others. Correct?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Tama?
Yes.
And then, could
Madam
you
Chair.
explain to this representation, ano po yung others? What does it entail? Uy. Kasi tinatanong ko po ito, AGM, dahil 2.151 billion to eh. Pero ano po yung others para ma-educate tong representation na ito sa expenses ninyo?
We have other non-cash expenses like depreciation, Madam Chair, and then financial expenses for the interest earned. So it is subject to.
So it would amount to 2
Interest.
point in the billions?
Yeah, that's correct. For that 2 point something billion, Madam Chair, that is for the non-cash or depreciation.
Okay. Madam Chair, nakatingin ka na po sa akin eh. So,
Yes, I can give you an extra 10 seconds.
no, Madam Chair, it's okay.